Okay, Nick here. It's June 19th. Uh, Happy Father's Day to everybody. Anyways, so I've set up a little demonstration. All right, so we have the Earth as my famous large tennis ball, and you can see that I've actually um, put some tape around it representing the equator. Okay, so next to it is a golf ball representing the moon. And far there yonder is the sun. Okay, the sun is, according to the globe model, 93 million miles away. So we know it's huge. What is it? Something like the diameter is 200 something million miles wide. So I guess because it, from the Earth, even and it's 93 million miles away, when you look at it, the sun looks really smaller because the farther away something is, the smaller it looks. So I guess it's close enough for our little demonstration that the sun is that size, or appears to be that size from the Earth's point of view. Well, my point of view from the Earth, standing on the Earth. And the moon, yeah, the moon's pretty good. It's closer to the Earth, and so it looks as big as the sun, roughly. But it's also pretty big. So in this demonstration, okay, right, the Earth moves around the sun, right? Travels around the sun. So that's the orbit of the Earth around the sun. Okay, 93 million miles average distance from the sun as it travels around the sun. Now, the moon, as we know, travels around like this, around our Earth. It travels around the Earth like that. Sorry for the bad, my bad little demonstration of that. So the moon circles the Earth, circles the Earth like that, and comes around, back around. So as you can see in this position, okay, the sun would be hitting both the Earth and the moon at the same time. Now, standing on the Earth, we know that if you are standing here on the Earth, you're in the Earth shadow, as if you were standing behind a billboard in the dark, or behind a building in the dark. Even though it's sunny out, when you step behind a building, it will get cool and dark because it's blocking the sun, right? So you're in the dark side of the Earth when you're standing here. Yeah, right? When you're standing here, you're in the dark side of the Earth. You're in darkness. You can no longer see the sun, okay? You can no longer see the sun, and you're in darkness, okay? That's the same for our moon, right? Why would it be any different? I don't understand the logic of why it would be any different that if you were standing here behind, on this side of the moon, why See this side of the moon here? The dark side of the moon. The earth would be, you'd be standing on, and this is what we call night. Okay? And this is what we call the dark side of the moon. The sun is hitting here. Right? Sun is hitting here, and the sun is hitting there. We got the dark side of the moon, and we got nighttime on Earth. Got it? So, the sun is over there. This is a better view. So the sun is over there. When we're standing on this side of the moon or the sun. So if you're looking at the moon, what are you seeing? You're seeing a dark side, and you're seeing a bright side. And that bright side of the moon, this side, is always pointing to that sun. I've got almost 30 videos now, all right, going back to 2017, okay, and they all agree with this assessment. Every single time that we see the moon and the sun together, the side of the moon that is lit up is the side pointing towards the sun. Now you can kind of argue that it looks like it's not exactly pointing to the sun. Sure, you could say that. Okay. But there are times, right? There are times when in the morning, when you can see the moon first, and then we turn. See, you can, so you're here, right? You can see the moon. You're here on the earth, right there. You're here on the earth. You can see the moon. You can see the brightness of the moon pointing this way, and the darkness of the moon pointing that way. You can't see it because it's too dark. You can only see this side that's, all right, pointing east towards the sun. Now the sun doesn't move, and the moon is not moving. Or it's moving very, very slow, so it's not moving enough for you to really, for it to really affect anything. But you're standing here on the earth. See this little, I made a little dot. That's where you're standing. You're standing in a place where you still cannot see the sun. So if we turn, see that dot? See that dot? That's where you're standing. You can see the moon, but if we turn that dot 15 degrees every hour, if we turn that dot this way, we start to see the sun. The sun starts to come over. We start to see the sun. We can't see the sun here in this direction, but if we are moving, see how we move towards the sun and then we can see the sun? Okay, so now we're full on looking at the sun appearing over the horizon. Okay, and we can still see the moon, and the moon doesn't change its light, its reflective light on the sun. Doesn't change. It's our vision, it's what we're seeing of the moon is changing, or that we can now see the sun. The moon is still being lit up by the sun. Now during the day, okay, During the day, we're turning. We're turning. See the dot? That's me or you. We're turning. Do you see it? We're turning. Okay. And now what do we see? We see the sun overhead, and it looks like the moon has changed positions, but it really hasn't that much at all. Okay, the moon hasn't changed positions, but our position has changed. Okay, our position has changed. All right, so now it looks like the sun is directly over our heads. All right, looks like the sun is directly over our head. Okay. I don't know why I can't get this. I don't care. Okay. So the sun is directly over our head now. And the moon is over there. The moon's position hasn't changed. The sun's position hasn't changed. Yet, when we turned, it appears that the sun is now directly over our head, and the moon has recessed over here. As we turn more, okay, as we turn more, okay, we turn more, and now our vision, we've gone dark. We've gone dark here. It's dark, it's nighttime. We can no longer see the moon. Right? We can no longer see the moon either. Can't see the sun or the moon from this position. And then as we turn, we start to see that moon in this position. And it's dark out, right? It's dark out, and we can see the moon. Right? We start to see the moon. Right? We turn our ball more. Turn our ball more, and we start to see. So we come back to where we were. But the moon is not in this position anymore. Right? It's in a little bit different position, because the moon is moving a little bit every day. Every day it moves a little bit, because it takes 29 days to go around the Earth. Okay, so at some point, okay, this moon will be in, let's just say, this position. Okay? In this position. Got it? So now, as we move towards the sun, we see the sun. Okay? See the sun first now in the morning. We're not looking at the moon, right? That little dot is us, right? The sun is overhead. We're not looking at the moon yet. We're not seeing the moon yet. Okay, so this time, okay, this time, we're seeing the sun first. And it's going to appear that the moon is in the opposite position, is following, it looks like, you know. It's just a matter of where you are on that, in this position. So now, Now when we turn this way, we see that the moon has changed its position. So now this side of the moon is lit up. And we're looking at this side. We're looking at this side of the moon, not that side of the moon. We're looking at this side of the moon. We're looking at a different side of the moon. This side is dark and this side is light, but we're looking at this quarter of the moon, the other side of the lit side of the moon, instead of this side of the moon on that. This is always dark. This is the way it, okay. So that's what we're seeing, okay? We're seeing the lit side of the moon, but this quadrant, or that quadrant, depending on where it is in the thing. So we're going to stop there.